Alright, so I'm going to attempt my first ever Kydex press, well, VacuForm in this case. Um, Here's my gun. It's already unloaded. Trust me. Just don't even, don't even ask. No bullets in the clip, no bullets in the chamber. What I've done is I've taped this up with painter's tape just to keep the Kydex from going too far into the trigger assembly. I also put some balsa wood in a couple places, like right here on my S&P 40. It basically goes in right here. Um, so I didn't want that catching too much. So there's a little bit of wood right there just to keep it from going in. There's also wood along the top just to keep my sights safe. Basically, I've got the sight there, and you can see how it goes in. And then I also put some inside the ejection port balsa wood just to build it out a little bit, so where that wasn't constantly catching or anything on the corner right there. So these are all just small modifications, and the tape's just to kind of protect the gun too. Apparently, from what I've read, this plastic holds up really well to heat transfer, so I don't have to worry about it melting. And if you've ever heard like, the the handle can squeeze together, that's in the press styles, and it's more from the pressure than from the heat. So anyway, this is going to be going in my car. I want it up against my my leg, right up against the center console. So I want the Kydex on this side. So I'm going to be placing it so where it's like this. I want the barrel sticking out a little bit, and I want about 1.5 inches on each side. Notice this is the glossy side, and this is the flat side. Flat side I want out, obviously. You want the texture side out, and I'll end up putting it like that, and then I'll put the tray on top and suction it down. So I've got to get my material up to heat. So currently, you can use a infrared thermometer. Check the temperature, 72 degrees. That's the temperature of my house right now. It's kind of cold outside, whatever. It's Florida. That's cold. So what I'm going to do is basically just use our oven. And yes, I've got to clean it. We made some bacon last night. So anyway, I'm going to use this, put it inside the oven, heat it up to 350. So I'll be right back. So I started this timer a little late. It's about a minute plus this, so minute 40. I turned my oven on to conventional bake. It's got a fan going on in there, or sorry, convection bake. It's got a fan going on in there, and I set it to 200 initially. You can see it's saying it's 150 in there, and my material's already 114. So I need to be aware of this. I got the fan going so where it circulates. It does a little bit more even heat. I may or may not have to turn it. We'll see. But yeah, so just in the waiting process. So just to get an idea of how important it is to have one of these things, and these are pretty cheap. I got this I think at Harbor Freight or Home Depot or something. Anyway, so it says 200, right? So our material is 157. The plate is 175, and then down low on the bottom is 400 plus. That's the actual heat coming out to, this is a gas stove, so that's the heat coming out to heat up the area. Depending on where you've got your material, it's going to be a whole lot different as far as how quickly it heats up. So I've got it at 200. We're sitting at the 5-minute mark, and I'm going to let it sit at 200 for just a second to come up to temperature up to 200, and then I'm going to bring it the rest of the way up to 350. 350 is the target, but I want to walk it up slow. Apparently Kydex can warp, shrink, and gloss over if you heat it up too fast. Okay, so we're at the 10+ minute mark. We're still ramping up, and material is 280. Remember, we're shooting for 350, so that's hot. Just wear mechanic's gloves. I shouldn't need anything special, just enough to keep the tips of my fingers whenever I touch the material. Contact time is not going to be that much. I'll flip it over into my hand and then flip it over onto my mold, what I'm trying to do. So just still in the waiting process. While that's still in the oven, which I've also cranked up to 400, and I got to watch it really close now. We're the 12.5 minute mark, well 13.5 because I forgot a minute. Just wanted to show you this. So this is the rough outline that I did, the plan. So you'll notice I got an extra like inch and a half up here, and the same, down here. There's a little bit of place to put my rivets on top and bottom. So this is 6 inches by I think like 5 inches, maybe 5.5. But it's what I needed to go across. So that was my plan. Again, we're at the 14-minute mark now, and 350. So we're gonna go kind of fast. So what I'm doing is just pushing it into the molds where I want it to go into the mold. So I want it really tight up against the trigger frame. And I don't care that it's a little crooked, I'm going to be taking that out afterwards. Push it in the trigger assembly like really easily. This is me just fine-tuning it. And I can actually feel whenever I push on here, I actually feel the material sliding under the silicone. So you can see my silicone working area, and the gun is placed on there. I think that'll work. Kind of happy with the way it looks right now. And we're at the 15.5 minute mark, so yeah. So the silicone itself is still about room temperature, 75, a little bit hotter. Remember, this is a good insulator, so I'm not going to get the true reading of this underneath, but it's getting close, 120 or so. And you can watch it constantly go down because the air from the vacuum is going down through it. So. So you've actually noticed it's going up a little bit around where the silicone is. The silicone's actually starting to get as hot as the material. And now it's starting to cool. So almost there. I don't want to do this too early. This is my first attempt, so I'm gonna let it hang out a second. I don't pretend to know all the properties of Kydex. I do really like how this turned out, though. The box. You know, it's beautiful. So we're sitting about 18 minutes into when we first started. First put the Kydex in the oven. So this is a very fast process. I'm doing this before a dentist appointment today. So okay, so I can actually see the silicone sliding off of the material underneath. So it should be safe to pull. There's that. And comes right off. So for my first time, I'd say that's pretty fair definition. Gun fits in there. I'm gonna have another piece flat on the back so I can mount it real easy. So just to show you what that would look like. And this is why I gave so much overlap up top. If you look at where, like I said, I had like an inch, inch and a half, it's shrunk down because it had to go around the corner and underneath. And actually, according to this table, like a lot of people were saying you had to put like something under the gun to bring it up so you get definition underneath. I'm kind of happy with that. I might do that next time just to try it out. But yeah, I mean that's pretty darn flat right across there. So if I put another piece on it, you can see how flat that is. So that will work for what I want. And I might just heat this up just to, you see how the texture, the glossiness changes. Again, that's me being perfectionist, although this is on the blind side, so I might not. But some of the points I might cut out right here where the safety is. I got a little safety switch here. And sorry, this is the M&P shield, 40 caliber. Underneath there, I said S&P for some reason. But yeah, I'm gonna keep the gun wrapped up because I want to make a couple extra holsters. One for my side, for an in the waistband holster. Yeah, that's gonna work. Yay! So we're sitting at 21 minutes. Okay. Thank you for watching. I'll show you whenever I get more in the production stage of, doing the rivets and such. I ended up getting a lot of my stuff from knifekits.com. I'll put a link to materials that I got as far as the Kydex, the rivets, Chicago screws, that sort of thing. As I go about making this, these couple holsters. I've also got a Glock that sits at my bedside. Glock 19 9mm, which I love. I don't have the holster for that. On that gun, I've got a clip on the side which screws in the back, and it basically, the clip goes in and goes on your waistband. So this would be, your body over here, and it goes in and sits. I've been happy with that, but the Glock is a lot fatter gun, so it's not as comfortable as a waist carry. So it's been delegated to the house gun. Which, I shoot a really tight grouping with that, so I'm totally comfortable. I've got a flashlight at bedside too, which I might do something for that. We've got one of those in the mattress holders, sort of you can just roll over and grab your gun and grab the light, the flashlight. But the light doesn't fit exactly right in that, so I might adapt the holster. And hey, I got Kydex now, so I can play with that. But really appreciate you watching. If you did watch, obviously you've made it to the end, and appreciate your time. Thank you.